The ModernJeeper Show, the show about Jeeps, Jeeping, and Jeepers.
Well, hey, Modern Jeepers, is another episode of the ModernJeeper Show with me, Matson from Metalcloak, and Mr. Modern Jeeper, Corey Osborne.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, and Rockstar Jeep Girl, Jessy.
What's going on, Matson?
Sporting the sunglasses.
I know,
you're in
it's hot
sunny,
here in
hot
Florida. I haven't
Yeah.
melted yet, so.
Well, see, and you got the right idea. You got the tank top on. Corey's still wearing a t-shirt. You know, hey, Corey, little tip: when you're in a hot area, you less hair on your face makes it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
There we go. I'll roll up the sleeves. There we go.
There you go. Now you got, but no, now you're just showing off your farmer tan.
Totally.
You know, John just got back from his honeymoon in St. Lucia or whatever it was. And yeah, he came back with like the true big farmer tan straight up. It's like, it's when you're in places like St. Lucia, it's okay to take off your shirt. It's okay to get a full tan.
Right. Well, and after the whole little incident with the middle of my forehead and my doctor saying to be careful, what's funny about being down here is it's so humid and so hot that it's like you rub sunscreen onto wet skin. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets kind of, it's like when you get out of the shower and you use your deodorant, and if you don't wait for it to dry a little bit, it just becomes a messy, sticky mess.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We all know that, right? That's a great analogy.
We haven't gotten to chat for a couple of weeks. You were running around last week, busy as heck, and we were walking around in Key West.
I know, it feels like I was there because I, helped with you guys got the podcast together, made it all work. Did the whole Key West walk around, which is great. But then I realized, it's been almost 2 weeks since we talked. How does that happen?
Well, we've been super busy, and I know that that was a little bit different what we did last week, and it wasn't, it was one of those podcasts that it was all things going wrong that day. Not wrong necessarily, it was just a really long day, and by the time we even got it uploaded and then trying to get the videos to upload and all that, and literally standing outside for 4 hours trying to upload videos because the service was so bad. It was just one of those, it was a different kind of week. And a lot of people reached out to us and said, what a great thing, and we enjoyed it, yet maybe not our best moments.
Well, it was spontaneous. The only thing I can say is stop apologizing for it.
Well, it was cool that we hung out with Jeremy Purick from Rock Crawler, with Armando from Artec. We were with really good people and trying to also capture a ton of content, and it's a lot like herding cats. It was
Are you comparing Jeremy Purick to a cat?
Not at all.
Oh,
Not
okay,
at all.
okay.
No.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, I think there was, how many were there of us? Like 7? We had
Sergio, his wife, his baby, Armando, Jeremy Purick, Tim Pellegrino, Chris Hawkins.
Anytime you take Tim somewhere.
Tim was the heart of the cats, and I love you, Tim.
Tim is like a what do you call a flock of cats? What do you call it?
Yeah.
Well, I know like lions, it's a pride. So it'd be like, is he a pride of cats?
He's kind of like the Tasmanian devil.
Yes.
Tim, Tasmanian devil, Pellegrino.
But it's always an adventure.
Yes.
Well,
this week is completely different. We have a couple of guests with us that I'm not going to introduce yet, so you guys have to be quiet. But we have 2 guests with us. We're going to get into heavy duty Jeeps this week. We've had a lot going on. Moab registrations is full. We're done. We're closed. Moab is full.
But
I know, right? And we had a registration last night that I didn't expect, and we got one more in, and it filled it. So we're good with Moab. We're here today we're at Mr. Jeeper's den, Ricky's house, staying here for a night. He's got actually an overland group coming in tonight that we're going to have a meeting with. We're going to talk about a Death Valley fall adventure and those dates. It may or may not happen. We're not there yet. So for our listeners, don't freak out yet and go, there he goes. Yeah, he just went in the back there. But don't freak out yet. The date's going to be the week after SEMA. We do know that. And it's going to be one trip. So stay tuned. We'll get more information out to you. I'm going through my notes here real quick just to make sure I cover some stuff that I haven't.
But what about what's the plan for Colorado?
Still working.
I'm not even going to Moab so I can like save up my brownie points with my wife and family so I can go to Colorado.
There you go.
Okay, so cool.
It better happen.
Yeah,
we're
gonna make it work. My fear is that it's gonna be Labor Day weekend. Now, there's other stuff going on Labor Day weekend, but that's going to actually be probably the best weekend for it. The problem with Labor Day weekend in the San Juans is it's going to be extremely busy. So we may
do
need
the
to
week
bump
before,
it.
like during the week.
We could definitely do that.
How many Jeeps do you want to have on that?
Well, I'd like to stay probably in our little small groups. I like 11 and 12. That's a good number.
Yeah, don't stick with 13. That's a bad number.
13's unlucky.
13's a bad number.
Yeah, 13's bad lucky.
By the way, for our listeners, you want to know everything about where Corey and Jessy are right now. That was episode number 74. The Modern Jeeper Show has Ricky, and he talks about his compound out there and his last of its kind orange orchard in the county that he's at. And
he has bees.
He has bees. Ooh.
So
does he have to do his own honey too?
So the other day he came out and he gave me a chunk of hive, and I'm like, "What do you want me to do to this?" And he goes, "Well, just pop it in your mouth." Oh, wow. My gosh!
Yeah,
that's a different, like the honey we get in a jar in a store. No, fresh out of the hive, and it's like chewing on a piece of wax, but it's filled with all the natural honey. Oh.
Was it a little warm? Was it a little warm?
Honey too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So you take that. You take that and you spread that on some toast, just like
it
just right out of it.
Caramelized.
Oh yes.
And I got to ride their horses and hang out with the Kayla and rode for a little bit. So
she got to get on a horse.
I still understand how he has time for all of that.
He doesn't understand how he has time for all that.
Yeah. The truth is he's some, he's like what do they call it? The big what's the Spanish term for the overlord who has all these people working for him?
What's interesting is when we had him on the show before, and of course he came out to Death Valley as well. I didn't understand. He's done so much, and he's been around the industry for a long time as well. He's got 13 or 14 Jeeps out here on his property. Yeah.
That's all? One of our engineers has that many in his backyard.
But these, I think these actually all run.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Yeah, well, that's so they're not just parts Jeeps.
No.
Right. Well,
let's get our guests.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you introduce them?
So these two guys, we've been around them for a long time. We've known them for a long time. The first guy I'm going to introduce happens to be one of the coordinators for the event that we're headed to next. So Jessy and I are headed to Panama City
for the Florida Jeep Jam.
So we have Jamie Carr, and Jamie's actually traveling with Bryan. Bryan works for Aerolidz. He's one of the guys that has done a bunch of their shows. He's got a phenomenal looking rig because it's got a bunch of gold parts on it. I don't know, the company that makes gold parts. Weird. But no, these guys, and they're about an hour behind us coming up the coast. They're kind of doing what we've been doing. They were going to a lot of jobber stops and just kind of hitting places and working their way towards Panama. So Jamie and Bryan, are you guys there?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I do want to say to our audience that where they're at, they didn't have a really good signal. So you see the picture of them there, and that was a perfect moment where they were just frozen in time. So we decided to capture that moment for you all to see here when you're watching video. But if you are like the rest of us, just listening on podcasts on audio, well, good on. It should all work. Well, welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it must have been I know Corey and Jessy have been in Florida for now far too long, but how about you guys? You've been here all, 2-3 weeks?
Since the 19th for me, all the way from St. Louis.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been in Florida since like 2002.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little different for you, Jamie. But what a great it's just crazy. It's like this crazy Florida month for everybody to go through and have the vendors stick out there and be able to have back-to-back events with the little events in between. And what an awesome way to set it all up for everybody.
Yes, sir. Oh, for sure. And the reset in the Keys was nice as well. I think I was just Jessy and Corey in the Keys too.
Yeah. So
just missed each other.
Now, what I didn't know, and Corey kept saying this in his podcast, things like, oh, the world famous sunset in the Keys. Well, I'm out of the loop. I didn't realize the Keys had a world famous sunset.
I didn't either. So
there's a green flash.
There's a
during hurricane season, the sunsets are even more phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Oh, really? So you go down there when the hurricane's going, and
the clouds are amazing canvas for sure.
So what did you say, Corey? There's a green flash?
Yeah, so when the sun sets, and I don't know what the technical term is, and maybe Ricky does. Ricky from Jeepers Den we're at his house, so he's walking around. He may do a little couple cameo appearances, but there's this green flash when the sun, right as it goes below the horizon, that it's kind of just a phenomenon, a physical phenomenon that happens in the clouds. And it's just kind of a quick poof. And people spend their lifetime waiting to see and chase the green flash.
Yeah, it doesn't happen all the time. It has to be the weather and the climate. Everything has to be perfect for it to happen. So
you have to have the perfect combination. And something I'll tell you on the green flash from growing up here is you can try to record it, but it doesn't show up on film either.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Well, we thought we saw an alien in the sky when you go down to the Keys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it Fat Albert? Was it Fat Albert?
So
I was like, what in the hell?
There's a large blimp as you make your way down through the Keys, and there's this blimp is called Fat Albert, and it's odd because it's not a huge blimp like we think of the Goodyear blimp, but it's not a kid's balloon, and it's actually a Navy. They call it the eye in the sky, and it's an old radar eye that can see the incoming traffic up the channels, interior and exterior, on the sides of Florida and through the Keys. So they're monitoring. Yeah, we're being watched.
We're being watched. So there is an alien in the sky.
Probably DEA action.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because that doesn't happen up there, right?
Never happens.
No. That's awesome. So is that like the furthest you guys have been down in Florida? I mean, have you ever been down to the Keys before?
I haven't.
I have.
You have. Of course you have, Mr. World Traveler, like 48, 49 states.
All of them.
You've been to all 50 now?
I'm on my second round.
Second round.
If I hit Alaska and Maine, New Hampshire, and Delaware again, it'll be all of them twice.
So now with Alaska, I guess I understand that a jobber of ours from Alaska was down at Jeep Beach.
Yeah, there was an Alaska.
This guy Kevin is an Alaska jobber that was at Jeep Beach.
That's a trip.
Literally.
It's probably sweating a lot.
Yeah, right.
So Jamie, okay, let's talk about your event. So how many years has this one been going on?
This will be the 6th year for Florida Jeep Jam.
And what was the inspiration to start it?
And just all the Jeep community. I used to own the off-road shop in town, and before I started playing the rep game, and
So I worked with the owner of the event, Mark, and they got it going. And I've just always kind of sat back and been an advisory council for them and guidance. And then finally, after the other event I did for 12 years, after we put an end to that one, I had a little time, and he convinced me to come on full time and help him out even more. And so it's been great. We rebranded last year. We actually one of the few events that went forward for 2020.
Right.
We were
Right.
happy to have Bryan and Jessy out for that. And now we've somehow convinced them to come back.
Nice.
They must like me and I must like them or something. I don't know.
I just figure it's because we're closer to the Keys in Colorado, so.
Right.
Right. So for our
It was our
listeners,
first event last year.
Yeah.
for our listeners who don't really know the event, describe it. What's it like? How different is it from Jeep Beach? What do you guys try to do out there?
So we have vendors just like Jeep Beach does. The difference is our beaches are never driven unless you're a police or a lifeguard. So one special thing we do is we get access to do a parade on the beach. It is limited. We have to control the numbers because we only get a window permit. So this year we were able to get a permit long enough that we could fit 800 Jeeps through. And
Wow.
our beach sold out in a matter of weeks once we announced that it was open for purchase. So we'll have 800 Jeeps will go down Panama City Beach. It's only about a mile and a half roughly, but for people that don't ever get to drive on that beach, it's a nice treat. We also, one thing I've learned that we do a little different is Thursday night we do a vendor welcome where we welcome the general public and all of our vendors, and we kind of take care of our vendors for making the trip and supporting us. So we're going to have some live music and some axe throwing and free food, feed everybody after they spend all day setting up Thursday.
Free food attracts them.
That's right. That's how
That's all these vendors want is free food.
Free food, cocktails, and axe throwing?
I wouldn't know about it.
the only thing I'm missing now is a fireworks stand, and we'll have it all.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, just need some explosives mixed in. We'll be good.
yes.
Here, help yourself, fireworks.
Bones.
We also
gas in a cooler.
we also do guided excursion tours. Maybe one year I'll be able to convince Corey to come do some guiding for us. But we have some private land that we lease for the week out on the Intercoastal Waterway, and about 9,000 acres. We take about 50 to 55 Jeeps at a time. It's a 3-hour tour, which just was accidental. No Gilligan puns.
I was about to say.
Wow, that's
We're on
cool.
Gilligan's Island now.
It's a 3-hour tour.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you don't get
Well-
lost. So that's very cool. Now, and how many attendees you expect this year?
All in all, people passing through Vendor Village, we're expecting between 10 and 12,000
Wow, that's
each
great.
day. Increase over last year.
Yeah.
Which was actually an increase over 2019, believe it or not, even with COVID stuff going on.
Well, that I believe because people needed someplace to go.
It was the only event that stuck. So
Right.
Jam rolled around. We were all ready to get out of town.
Cabin fever was full effect, so it's easy to convince people to come see us and hang out.
And the beaches out there are beautiful.
Yes.
Jamie, what do you? I'm
What's
sorry.
that?
What do you do what did you do in your real life, in your past life?
What did I do?
Yeah.
I was active duty Coast Guard for 10 years. Did federal law enforcement interdictions.
And then you said you got into did you have a shop at some point?
Mm-hmm.
So after I've been building Jeeps for 26 years, and then after I got off active duty, while I was on active duty, I built Jeeps for other guys I was stationed with, friends, family, and so after I got injured and got off active duty, I decided we'd give it a go, and so I had a shop in Panama City that's still going. I just I've sold my stake in it, and it's we had that for about 9.5 years, and that's how I met a lot of people. So I learned the wonders of Metalcloak suspension, actually. And,
this is not a paid endorsement.
That's right.
We'll talk about that later.
Right.
So no, we did that, and decided I had a couple gentlemen approach me and talk to me about being a rep and teaching other people how to run shops and sell and tech side of items, and so Greg Adler and some of his crew convinced me to give it a whirl, and so I did that for years, and then helped out with Daystar and the Daystar group for a while, and now doing Aerolidz full time.
Wow, you've been all around. That's great. Well, it's also good to see Aerolidz doing as well as it's doing, because
Absolutely.
simple product, great concept, and awesome people.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you.
One of my
I wasn't talking about you, Brian. I was...
No, actually, I know you're talking about me.
Well, and it's funny because so in my notes, one of the things that I wanted to talk with Matson about prior to even you guys joining this podcast was that we continue to go to events, and this year is different. This year's events, the coordinators are new. Some of the time, I guess I'll say, everybody has an event. And everybody thinks that the coordinator's job is so easy because all you have to do is get all these vendors to show up and pay for a booth. Well, I got to tell you that, and Jamie, and Brian, and Matson knows, of course, he's been doing events for a long time. But the coordinators, in my notes, I wrote down, and if there's other coordinators for other events listening to this podcast, please know your vendors. And one of the things that's been nice with Jamie is that he knows who we are. He knows what we need. And when we get to the event, that goes so far. Even Daytona now, the events that we do year over year, they get familiar with us and they understand our needs. But when those change roles or the coordinators change positions, or there's a new event and they call every vendor they know and everybody goes, yeah, we'll all show up. Our needs we're special. And I mean that
we are special.
We're a little different, but for people that understand what it is that we need, and then when we show up to an event, kind of like what we did with Jeeps on the Island, they had a great event, I think, for their first year at this location or whatever, but they didn't understand what our needs were, and it was very frustrating for us. But if you're a coordinator and you're calling vendors, just because you say, well, I need a 20 by 10 space, but then you show up with, I've got, 4 Jeeps. Well, that doesn't really fit in that space. So Jamie's always done a really good job for us. And going back to Panama, he's listened to our concerns even last year. And he's like, hey, whatever you guys need, we'll make it work. And that's rare. So I just want to throw that out.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's nice being being a vendor and then having the opportunity to do a show. I kind of understand some of our problems and where we're at most shows. So, and now are these notes including the message about the pool I have to find for Jessy?
I found the pool. I'm good.
She
Jeeps
went and
on
bought
the
the pool.
Island. I did. Jeeps on the Island was so hot.
Yeah.
I
There was
thought I
some
was
nice
going
guy
to
that
pass out.
Bears.
So right. So I messaged Jamie. I'm like, dude, I need a pool and I need water. Can you provide those? He goes, you get the pool, I'll get the water. I said, done.
So here we go. I think we need to have like a Metalcloak dunk tank. I'll volunteer to sit in the dunk tank.
Stay tuned. We have a plan. We have a plan for the ducks and the pool.
Nice. Oh, the ducks. That's right.
Yeah.
For those that have been out there, you may have seen them. They may be coming around. They may have made it your way, but we sent out a whole bunch to a bunch of our jobbers as well. And they're going to start appearing in boxes too. The little ducks. You might get ducked, or you might have been ducked. Who knows?
That's right.
Go out to Panama City to get some.
Panama.
Yep.
Panama City. So that's to your point, Corey, and for all the guys out there. I mean, we love events, right? And events are the driver to me between a lot of what we do. And anytime somebody calls and they're going to an event or they want to do something, we do what we can to try to push things forward for them, because it's important. You know, we need to get out there and do that. But and there's so many different people out there, and it's interesting when you get a reach out from somebody that's saying, "Hey, Matson," or "Hey, Metalcloak," or "Hey, guys, love to have you out there. You know, a buddy of mine runs your kit," or so and so, and they make it personal in what they want to do, versus getting on 5 different channels: Instagram message, Facebook message, email, on multiple forums, the same generic message that somebody just who and I can understand it. I mean, when you're saying all of a sudden you're in a club and it's like, "Hey, let's do an event." "Oh, hey, Bob, you're now in charge of vendors. Go out and reach out for the vendors," right? And you're saying, go out and do that. Well, if there's a little bit we can help everybody out there in the clubs with, like you said, know your vendors, or at least make the attempt to know your vendors.
And I was bombarded at Jeep Beach too. I have like a stack of people wanting us to come to events. I talked to many people about, you know, where we were with their time frame and their events. So people are really hungry for events, and there are new events popping up everywhere. So I have a lot of work.
Yeah, and as Modern Jeeper and as Metalcloak, we're happy to support as many events as we can. We love events, and we'll send out gift certificates or whatever to support your event. If you're listening, you want to know how to do that, just go to our website, to the contact page. There is a link there for event sponsorship. There's a lot of information, but you can imagine we use that to weed out the riffraff and those that are just trying to get free stuff, because we all know groups and stuff that do that just to get free stuff for themselves, as opposed to really trying to make an event for other people.
Exactly.
But if you are reaching out and sending a message, just make it personal. Take the time to figure out who you're addressing. I don't care who it is. I get vendors all the time, like sending, "Hey, you need to use our product." I'm like, I'm not going to take your spam email. I need you to personalize it. It only takes 2 seconds more.
That's right. I'll tell a quick story, and Matson has heard the story. In fact, this came back from JJ USA days when I was helping Pierce and that group. And, you know, this was at the time when people went to those events just because they know they were going to win something. And there was a couple of events that were taking place around the country, and I was in front of so many people and got to talk to so many participants who said that yeah, there were vendors that had sent product, and Warn was one of them that actually would send a winch, not a gift certificate. They would send the actual product to the event. And it was interesting, during the giveaways, there was no winch to be given away.
Yeah.
And having some of the folks from some of these manufacturers around us that would go, "I thought we sent you guys a winch." "No, we never received a winch." Well, it turns out one of the club members or one of the people behind the event would end up with the products, and they were never given away. So when Matson says we have this forum to weed out the riffraff, that's kind of what we're looking at. And believe me, when you put on this forum that, you know, you guys have a Facebook presence and you're gonna have all kinds of pictures up, and then the events take place and we never hear or see it anywhere, that's difficult for us to kind of go, all right, are you a real event? I guarantee you at Panama Beach, at Jeep Jam, it's a real event. There's going to be a ton of people there. There'll be a ton of images. They do a great job social media wise. And those are the folks that we're looking for. And those are the events we love to go to.
Absolutely. And you don't have to be, you don't have to be a massive event to attract us, because we love doing. In fact, Corey, you've done a few of the small 300 attendee events. Yeah. And they're fantastic, because it's a time to get with the small groups because you can only do so many CTIs anyway in a period of time. And so if you have group ones and it fits within the schedule, feel free to reach out. Corey at metalcloak.com. if you have questions about whether or not it works in the schedule. We don't really have a form for requesting the CTI, and maybe that's something we need to do moving forward. Also, if you're a Metalcloak member and you're a member of the Metalcloak Owners Club, you can always reach out. There is an application for requesting to have the Metalcloak Owners Club at your event, which actually means that you, as a Metalcloak owner, as you have Metalcloak products on your rig, can come out and bring the canopy or bring the flags and set up a booth and just hang out with other fellow Metalcloak members and just there to hang out. There's no pressure on you. You're not trying to be a rep. We're not asking you to do anything. You're just throwing up a canopy as a member of the Metalcloak Owners Club. Our buddy Philip Thorpe coordinates that. And it's just email me, matson@metalcloak.com, and I'll send you the link for that. But you can just go out there and hang out and be a member of the Metalcloak Owners Club, drink a beer, whatever, just hanging out with that canopy or with those flags and just show everybody your love and appreciation for the Cloaked Republic. But that
it's cool. With Bryan's rig from Aerolidz, Bryan's got a very, very clean Jeep. So if you're going to be out at Panama, make sure you stop by Aerolidz booth and check out Bryan's Jeep. What's cool is Gabe, who owns Aerolidz, was using a lot of our suspension products, and Bryan actually reached out to me initially and Jessy and said, hey, I kind of like this stuff. It works really well. So Bryan's rig is a very well built rig, and it's really cool to work with someone who then installs our stuff, installs Metalcloak's products, and then goes to an event and is able to show it off. It's why that we work with other vendors. Does that make sense?
No. I mean,
weird.
We don't care about that. But it is. Go ahead, Bryan.
Honestly, Corey, you're being kind of humbling because actually I called you up and I said I loved your stuff. And I love the way that it moves and it changes to keep your geometry right. I love to see the way that the parts moved, and I had to have it. So actually, the White Walker Jeep, this is 2.0 with the Metalcloak, with all Metalcloak on it. And I love my Jeep. It drives better than stock. I wheel the hell out of it. It doesn't have a problem going anywhere I tell it to go.
Was that at Axle Boy?
Yes.
That was the Axle Boy, yeah, whenever you came to St. Louis to bring the CTI trailer to one of our local dealers.
That's right.
Nice. Well, again, this is not a paid endorsement.
There to the Jeep stock.
So go ahead, Bryan.
Need to see about getting you guys out there to Jeep stock at S'more at Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fun.
Down to S'more. Yeah,
that'd be fun. So Bryan, let's talk about you and your Jeep history. So how did you get into Jeeps?
I always wanted a Jeep. In 2017, I bought a JKU. Had a 2008 Pontiac G8 GT sitting in the garage that I intended on getting up to about 750 horsepower. Saw the G8 sitting in the garage. It never moved once I bought the Jeep. And I found out the definition of just empty every pocket.
Right.
I was like, what could I sell the G8 for? And then I started pricing it. As soon as I found out what I could sell it for, I sold it and dumped all the money in the Jeep.
Yeah.
Nice.
So how did you originally get started with Gabe?
Gabe and I went to high school together.
Oh.
Hadn't seen nor talked to Gabe in over 20 years. One of my first purchases, light bars before lockers, was a...
oh, wait, I got to say, Bryan, I'm putting that on a shirt.
See? Well, I think somebody's already done that.
Is it?
An Aero
Yes.
I do have
Very good.
now, so don't be nice to me. I instantly put a light bar on the Jeep and instantly hated it. I got onto the Jeep forums and started reading people, and I ended up running into Gabe's testimonial as to why he invented the product.
Oh, wow.
Me too.
I'm sorry?
Me too.
You too? Okay, right
Yeah.
on. So I called Gabe up, and Gabe met me that afternoon with a Aerolidz. I slapped it on the Jeep. The light bar quit driving me nuts. At that point, I could start hearing the tires. And it's all evolved from there.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. And so it's amazing to me because what a simple concept, right? And what are one of those? What does it cost to get one of those? What's the price point?
Retail online for a dual row 52 inch cover is $149.99. We do produced inserts at $29.99. And we also have the ability now to do completely custom inserts, which those run $60 with a 2 to 3 week lead time. But at this point, you can light up anything you want to across your light bar, whether it be a sponsor, somebody that you believe in, your Jeep club, Jeep name, your business, whatever you want to do.
Do you discriminate against like foul language?
No.
Are you going to censor me? Because I have a few ideas.
I do too.
but no discrimination. It's your Jeep. I'm not making the payment, so you put whatever you want to put on your light bar. I'm not responsible for consequences.
And I've had my Aerolidz since the beginning. So
right.
And it also protects it from rocks and everything else. Not only does it stop the whistle, it's a protection thing, and it's a beautiful accessory to have when you want to advertise.
Yeah, it looks those inserts look awesome.
Yeah.
What are the inserts printed on? How does that? What are they?
So we print the inserts on a polycarbonate material.
Okay. Yeah, I've only seen it. I've actually never held one. You know, it's
carbonate material, same. So it's just a thin version of what we make the covers out of, which are polycarbonate, and then we make those UV stable as well. And the inserts, it's not a screen print process. The dye is actually burned and blended in, so you don't have that transfer problem like you do from screen print items.
Wow, very cool.
What's cool is when they do custom stuff. Initially, Gabe had done a couple for me in a single row for Modern Jeeper that I had on Spike, and it was interesting. You know, everything looks different. So in different colors, they light up differently. They let a different amount of light through some of them. Yeah, it's pretty amazing when they get into that custom side, and you know what? There's not one that's the same as others. So they do an American flag on the double row that looks amazing. Like there's some really cool graphics out there.
I like
also not a paid endorsement.
Not a paid endorsement. No.
Yeah, the only thing I will tell you when it comes to the custom stuff is we just ran into it. A guy was a huge Cubs fan. Wanted the Cubs C on there and some other things, and you know that's one thing we'll tell you is we cannot violate licensing agreements.
Right. Very smart.
That's a big thing for us.
That being said, here's where you go to. Here's this little place you go over here in this, go down to Kinko's and have something printed out. Print it out and cut it out yourself, buddy. No, that's smart. Yeah, and because they're very protective, very protective. I was looking at something online. In fact, it was they were shorts, right? Little girls' shorts. Well, I shouldn't say little girls' shorts, ladies' shorts, and they all had. Yes, I was on Alibaba. I'm sorry, I was on Alibaba, and these things popped up. Okay, but it's because I was looking for something else, and somehow this is how Alibaba filtered it. I don't know. Maybe they went into my computer system or something. But they all had like Cheetos, Flaming Hot, and all these brands on it. Like, yeah, nobody's going to buy those and import those. They'd sell a lot, but you do not want the liability of using somebody else's brand on anything.
I'm curious what our editing process will look like after we have Matson saying that he was looking for children's shorts with Flaming Hot Cheetos on them.
Well, now you just gave our editor, who is Gary, an idea. So thank you, because he would have just completely skipped through this one, and then he's going to capture it and he's going to put it back through. What's that called? The whole AI stuff they're doing now. Have you seen that? Or they can take you, and I can take you right now talking about it and just your mouth moving and just make you into a
Cheeto,
flaming liberal Cheeto.
Oh,
So,
God.
hey, welcome to the Modern Jeeper Show, guys, where we talk about anything and everything and anytime we can. Just to fill time. So Bryan, now, so how long you've been with Gabe now?
Pretty much since the beginning, since 2018, 2018 Jeep Beach was the first vendor event I went to. And at that point, I completely fell in love with the industry. It was kind of almost like finding my people, finding my purpose.
Yeah, we all know that. So with Aerolidz, do you guys sell at events? Do you actually sell? I imagine it's small enough and easy enough to bring that you sell them at the events, right?
Oh yeah, we typically bring stock to the events. The most recent event, Jeeps on the Island, we did not. However, we will have product with us at Panama City Jeep Jam, Florida Jeep Jam. My bad.
That's the new branding, Florida Jeep Jam. Okay, we got to be good about that. I'll make sure to
Florida
put
Jeep
that
Jam.
proper link in on our show notes.
It's in Panama City, but it is
in
Florida
Panama City,
Jeep.
but it's the Florida Jeep Jam.
Florida Jeep Jam. Sure.
So it's like, how many units do you bring? Like 300? What do you bring?
It really depends on the show. Depends on the show that we're bringing it to. I know that we'll have plenty enough to take care of whoever wants to check us out there at Florida Jeep Jam.
Good. So they don't have to go rushing to you like right away. Although you guys should, if you want to be there, go there first.
Mhm.
And get your Aerolidz. Then go over and see Corey and Jessy.
That's right.
See how I do that?
There.
Supporting our friends.
Yeah.
And this will be the first event in a few now that people will actually be able to do the CTI trailer and get out of their Jeeps.
Right. Yeah, that was a little weird doing that.
It
A
was
little weird.
It threw our flow off completely. Although I did get a lot of compliments on my picture taking abilities. So.
Oh, good. Well, that's. Yeah, because you doesn't get a chance for people to look at it. That's part of the joy. Like, you, as a driver, you never see your rig flex like that, right? You're always in the driver's seat. So to be able to get out and look at it and see it happen and have a little bit of anxiety, because they always do, like, oh, okay, it's
It's gonna fall off. It's gonna fall off.
He's gonna stop. Where is it? Oh no. Or it's the flip side of that is how many times, Corey, over the years, have you had somebody think that he was supposed to stay inside because he thought it was a ride?
Oh yeah, we get that too, where they hand me the camera as I go up there, and they're like, and then they ask me, well, you're gonna drive this on the trailer, right? No, you can drive it on there. Oh, that's crazy. But it is what it is, and in Panama at Jeep Jam, you'll be able to get up on the trailer. You can spend some time with us. We did a mini CTI event at one of our jobbers at Southeast Jeeps this morning.
How'd that go?
It was good. 3 hours and I tried to stay there early this morning so that it wasn't going to be so hot. It was still 90 degrees and 85% humidity. So in 3 hours, literally, I think I lost like 5 pounds.
Nice.
But it was cool. They had a lot of Jeeps on the property, and he was using it as a tool for his customers that may or may not have been there. So if the customer wasn't there, he pulled their rigs up on the trailer, took some pictures for them, went through it. That's a very hands-on shop. Mike, the guy that runs that shop, is top notch. He's a great mechanic, and they were in the repo business. So if you have a Jeep payment and you're not paying your bills and you're in Florida, you may see Mike in a different way.
Yeah.
A good repo, you won't ever see him.
Yeah,
he was already trying to sell me all the things, and I wanted all the things. And Corey said he told me I couldn't have anything.
Oh, Corey.
He had a couple of LJs down there.
And MJs.
And MJs. He had a couple of Kaisers. He had some really, I bet he had to have 70 rigs on his property.
Yeah. I love Dell and Stacy Albright, but that's Dell's like bailiwick, is that that Stacy will go places and then just buy a Jeep that has to then be transported. I've never been to their property, but it's got to be just overloaded because she'll buy trailers and Jeeps and little things and big things and just like, here, now get it home.
Yeah.
What's really awesome too about you guys in the CTI trailer, and again, not a paid endorsement, was you know, Corey gets out and he looks at your rig. He looks at how your rig is articulating, tells you where you can improve, where you're good, and not partial to what parts you're running either. So that's huge.
Right.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's because of the people who pay my bills for me. They honestly believe in education, and I tried to explain that to a couple of shops we went to. That
Who is that?
It's that company with the gold stuff, and they're just amazing everywhere. Every time we go to a show, people ask me, "How come you don't sell anything? You're not trying to put." I hand them a catalog and I say, "Make good choices." And really, it's about making good decisions, and people need to understand better that you can build your Jeep once. You don't have to build it over and over and over like we all have, and including myself. Yeah, it's good. I appreciate that, Bryan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just like how you let me check out my undercarriage without having to roll it.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Plus,
Well, plus, and then there's the guys that come up and say, "Hey, how many times, Corey, have you had people come up that want to use the CTI trailer simply because they're trying to fix something, or they want to get in and check something, and I got to say this: we had a guy out at East Jeep Safari, and Corey has spent it must have been over an hour in total time between the number of times he came out there trying to manhandling his coils on whatever his system was that he had, and trying to get it back in a place, and trying to fix this for him and fix that for him. I mean, it way above and beyond, and it didn't even buy you a smoothie.
I always tell people that it's for me. They look at the LJ and they go, "Wow, that's just that's crazy flexy." And I say, "You know what? But I have a relationship with the trailer and my LJ. They're kind of a matched thing. So again, the trailer lives with me, so obviously it's going to do very well because I can take care of all those small things that we see on all these other rigs. All we're trying to do is help them have a better experience when they're off road." So
Absolutely. That's really what it is. It's safety, understanding, knowledge, right? So out at it, you guys, where are you guys going from here, Jamie and Bryan?
Believe it or not, we're going to go to Southeast Jeeps in the morning. Go see Mike.
cool.
Nice.
So they told you we were about an hour behind them. So amazingly enough, we're going to go there in the morning. Then we're sliding up the coast a little bit. Got one stop in Titusville area, and then we're going to catch 50, come across to Ricky's. And
Nice.
then
Everybody
You got a
Ricky
shadow.
gets around.
Marco
Ricky gets
Polo.
oh, well, man, I just told all the secrets to Marco Polo and tagged the
Oh,
Jeeps.
see, look. So Matson doesn't know. We on the Florida Jeep Jam page, there is pretty much us, Jamie and Bryan are doing a Marco Polo kind of. If you see us out, give us a picture. You might win
Nice.
a registration to get into the Florida Jeep Jam. So
Or even more. Let's give them some.
And,
The registration for the Florida Jeep. Let's throw something else into the pie.
well,
We
There
can
you
do
go.
that. We can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. How about a little gold?
somebody needs
Yeah.
some gold.
So what we do, hey, we'll do this for all of the entries, like for, all of them. So anybody who gets, every one of them, just put them all into a bucket, and we'll give them a set of control arms or something.
Control arms. Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ,
Nice.
JK, JL, or JT, set of control arms.
So y'all better
but-
find us.
hey, we're actually going to add one more vehicle to the chase.
Uh-oh.
So when I stopped by Ricky's, picking up Kevin's JT, and we're bringing it to Panama City. So they'll have 3 vehicles they can try to win with.
Yeah.
Nice,
So,
nice.
You have to find the rock slide, the Aerolidz, or the Metalcloak. They get 3 chances there.
There you go.
Nice. I like it. I like
Cool.
it.
Cool.
So and I really appreciate you guys having us on, talking about Jeep Jam. And one thing I'll tell you too, you asked what's different. You guys didn't get to experience it last year, Corey and Jessy. So it is Florida Jeep Jam, and this year we're happy to be able to put the jam back in it.
Right.
So we have concert Thursday. We have a music party sound competition with DS18 on Friday, and then Saturday we have a up and coming artist, Frank Fletcher.
Yeah.
Young man, and he is fantastic.
Cool.
He's been traveling all over the country, and we managed to borrow him for 3 hours. And
Wow.
so Saturday, going to be giving away all kinds of stuff. And you got a guy that you're going to hear him at Florida Jeep Jam before you start hearing him on the radio here in a couple months.
Sweet.
Oh, wow.
That's cool. That's cool. So that's like this. So that's where the jam comes from. You actually have a real party going on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All day long.
We just we keep our concerts a little secretive till the end. We don't want you to decide on attendance based on concert. So we keep it a little secretive until we get a little closer. And, you know, those that support us, then they get a special treat like that. So it's awesome.
That's great. That's great. And what are the hours of the show?
So the show starts. We start Wednesday with a passport program. Then we have Thursday day at the beach. Thursday night we have the vendor welcome and kickoff. Vendor village hours are going to be Friday from 10 to 6, and that's on Central Time. And then Saturday we're going to run 9 to 5 Central Time.
Yeah, because we're back in Central Time when we get over there.
Oh, we're
I
not.
always forget about that.
Yeah,
We're-
Panama City is just right past the line. You're about 40 minutes from the.
I forgot all about
That's
that.
a good little reminder. Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
Why are Corey and Jessy late?
Yeah. Where are they at?
Where are they at? They're
About
early.
an hour behind.
Yeah.
I know we're
Early.
in the pool.
I'll be in the pool, so I'll be all right.
That's right. That's it.
Now, your pool may get filled up with ducks. I'm not sure, but
Maybe.
Now, speaking of pools, speaking of ducks, and I'm just going to throw it in there in balls. So, did I see correctly that one of the obstacles at Jeep Beach was like a big pool full of the balls from like
They had
McDonald's?
balls. Yeah, they had the balls. Did you see some of the pictures? People were ramping up the wall.
Yeah, because all I really saw was muddiness and then a bunch of balls all around. So I didn't really see the
That was, I think, the fourth line where it was like super steep,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of people were braking on it. So
Oh, nice. Just go
Yeah.
fast and break.
so that's
Yeah.
why you saw the launching pictures with all
Yeah.
the balls. Yeah.
So that was it looks cool. There's
Yeah.
not the after picture that shows that they broke.
With the front end dangling from the hook, getting carted off. Yeah. It happened quite
Right.
a few times.
Oh, wow. That's too bad. That's
Yeah.
too bad. You never want to go out there and break your stuff. Not an event like that.
Not on obstacle course, no.
Not an obstacle course. No. But, for many of people, and that's the thing, that's a great thing about the Florida Jeep Jam, great thing about Jeep Beach, these other events. It's a chance to really go out and do something and have some fun with your
That's
Jeep.
right.
And especially, that's what the industry has been fantastic right now. Everybody out there, I don't care what company you are, we're all doing really well because people are realizing that it's important to spend their money on something that they can actually have a little bit of freedom with. And I think that's it's been benefiting all of us. And it's amazing that there are so many great people out there who are doing that. So many great Jeep owners. It's just phenomenal. Hey, Bryan, do you have a sense? Are you getting with your guys' more JL owners, more JK owners, or just a wide variety of anybody who's got a light bar?
It's pretty much anybody that's got a light bar. The hardest part is trying to win over all the people that have the negative opinion of light bars.
Mhm.
We make light bars great again.
Yep.
Bringing back the light bar. It's like us when we brought out the lock and load radius arm. It was, hey, it's okay. Radius arms are good. We can make them.
Right.
Well, and it's funny because I'm kind of in that boat. I have to say, it's like, there was that point where light bar. And then I like the little pods, and I'm like, on my JT, I'm putting the big KC, big round 7-inch lights on the back, right? Just because it's a look, not necessarily, but it's so great to have a product that actually solves the problem that everyone, and it's funny because there are some light bars that claim, right? They claim to solve the problem, but you really don't do it. You still have a flat face with these fins in the back. I don't care what you try to do to try to dampen it. You're still creating that noise. So the Aerolidz just does a fantastic job with that. Now, that being said, there's a lot more going on. So what for you guys after Panama, where are you going? You going off to another event? What's the deal?
I'm headed back to St. Louis. I honestly don't know what is on the schedule next, but I'm sure we'll be. We do a lot of stuff locally as well. We're involved with quite a few of the local Jeep clubs. So I try to get through the Florida month, and then at that point I'll hopefully get to do some wheeling. And then we've got Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion that's coming up for sure in August.
Right.
Are you guys going to go to Bantam, Bryan?
I would love to go to Bantam. I don't know if we're going to go yet or not.
Gotcha.
If not, we'll have team members from Aerolidz that will be at those shows.
Cool.
For me, I'll be on the road shooting some jobber visits out, taking rock slide JT and Aerolidz, and headed out going to pick up some more jobbers and dealers and showing off new light bars as well. Which you mentioned a problem that we continue to fix problems, so we do the same thing with our new light bars too. Nobody likes that guy that's behind them with the 29,000 lumens blinding them.
Mm-hmm.
So, dimmable light bar. No extra pieces you got to buy, no humming, no hyper flashing, none of that. So, not to mention the full chase RGB system we have that gives it just an extra flair with our inserts too. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
another problem that's being solved at Aerolidz.
Yep.
Nice. That's great. So interesting. So full line of light bars then.
So we have the bars. We sell our bars with our covers and inserts.
Mm-hmm.
You can't whistle without it. We don't want them to whistle, so they
Right.
come as a kit. So we have all that. We did go into the pods that have our RGB system, so you have a match system. So we got 52s, 32s, 22s in dual rows. We have 50, 30, 20 in single rows. All of them have our RGB system. All of them have our dim system.
That's great.
And we need to get Gabe on my round lights.
On your round.
Well, we talked about, because I am too like Matson. I like the KC style
Sure.
bull bar in the back with all the lights, the round ones, and we talked about him making covers so I could still have my Metalcloak on each one without, getting rid of
Yeah.
my Aerolidz, because I won't get rid of my Aerolidz until he makes something like that.
Yeah. What would a cover like that be for like a KC? Is that be like Madonna's old, remember her brassiere? Big,
Well,
long,
right now the
how do you
covers-
get the air off of that?
Right. Well, the covers on those are proprietary, is, when I talked back and forth to Gabe. So he was trying to come up with something new so I could have covers on those.
Nice.
By the way, she wouldn't have a KC light. It would be a Baja Designs light.
Sorry. It's just
Right.
old school.
Yeah. A case. It's kind of like Xerox. It's a KC style.
Right, KC style.
That's what
Round
we
lights.
associate that mental image with.
Yes. It's that mental image, that big
The
yellow,
big smiley face.
big smiley face. That's right. That's what we remember that. And absolutely. In fact, we still have a full line of Baja Design lights that were sent to us for the Illuminator, which it turns out we have some new mechanics here at Cloakworks. In fact, one gentleman, his name is Chad Martin, who just joined us, who is it's funny because years ago in 2009 to 12, we were in a complex, and he was, for a couple of years, actually for most of that time, he was right across the way from us in a little shop, 2,000 square foot shop, as an engine builder, doing high horsepower engines for like dragsters and other sports cars, carbureted.
Interesting.
He was doing carbureted work. It was brilliant engine builder, young kid, like he was in his early 20s then, and he had just learned how to do it, and he was building these engines and stuff. It was fantastic. Life changed for him a little bit, as it does sometimes for all of us. And and then one day I'm walking through, and our new mechanic just showed up, and it's him. And it's like, wow, how the world has changed. And now,
That's
so
cool.
we got this incredible engine builder now here at Cloakworks Not that we like to do that because, you know, it just takes a lot of time versus just getting somebody's rig done, but we can do it now. So the Illuminator may have a really badass engine. I guess is the moral of that story.
Interesting.
So back to you, Jamie. So we didn't really talk about your Jeep history. We talked about your history, but what was your first Jeep?
First Jeep, 75 CJ5.
Nice.
The first one I rode around in was a 42 Willis.
Oh, how long did you have that 75?
I owned the 42. It was given to me when Jerry passed away. They gave the 42 to me, and I had it all the way until last.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I'm a CJ guy. I love CJs. I've got an 85. Whatever's left of it is an 85 CJ. Little two buggy hybrid crossover there.
Nice. And what's your so is that your go-to now? What's your go-to?
My wheeler is my CJ, but that's pretty much it right now. We been on the hunt for a very specific JKU, but I'm having a hard time finding it.
Oh, really? What are you looking for?
There might be somebody.
No. I don't want anybody else looking for it.
Okay.
Oh, smart.
All right. Well, when you find it, you got to come back here and tell you what you got.
Absolutely. I'm contemplating. I'm trying to talk Kevin out of his JT there. I really like it. I may give up on the JK search and just switch over to the Gladiator.
Nice. So let's talk. We have a little bit of rapid fire questions we like to do. So for our guests. So for each of you guys. So first off, Bryan and Jamie, favorite trail?
Rattle Rock.
Rail Rock, I only went down that one. I would say Rattler.
Rattler. So where are these trails? Tell us about them.
Wind Rock.
Wind Rock?
Rattler is Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch, S'more.
Ah. Have you been on those trails, Corey?
No, I've not been to S'more.
I haven't either.
You
No
haven't
S'more.
been to S'more?
No.
There's a place in the U.S. you haven't been, Corey?
Yeah. It's, we always the schedule doesn't ever quite work out when they have an event, and we always go buy it. So that's one of my bucket list things. So we'll get it taken care of.
Get a chain. Nice.
How are you looking in September, Corey?
Oh God, we don't want to talk about September.
Nice. Already planning it out. Good job.
We'll get with you. We'll figure it out.
All right.
Now, I'm gonna ask this question, but it's usually generally is the favorite mod. And we got a little doggy in the video. Who's that?
That's Sahara.
Sahara?
You know, Ricky keeps going back and forth at his door, and it's just enough to see him, and he smiles like going through.
He's like, I ain't getting on this camera.
I ain't
Busy
getting on
guy.
this.
He doesn't stop, and he can't sit still. So
Right. So that was the next question, and then generally the one of my favorites is favorite mod under $500. Which the only answer I would have for that for the two of you would have been an Aerolidz, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's like, well, there goes that question. Right. Well, guys, it's been an absolute fun, blast, pleasure having you on, and it's fun getting, especially a couple. We try to do this more and more, and I know schedules get hard, and it gets hard to be able to go out and do it. Corey has such a smile on his face right now from hanging out with the puppy.
yeah, it's
and there's Ricky.
It's good. It's been a long week, but we're busy, and it feels good to be busy, and it feels good to have some normalcy. For the folks that say that Florida's not been affected by the COVID thing, well, they lie. I mean, it's still, you still got to be there. There's issues with some things, but to be able to go to events and be around our Jeep family, that's huge. And
it feels more normal than most places. Let's say that
for sure.
So you guys being on the road like us, you may have missed yesterday's news. Our wonderful governor here, DeSantis, canceled all remaining policies. So
Yeah.
Florida is wide open now, and it's fantastic.
Wow.
Nice.
That
We've
is
walked
good
in
news.
places all day today without our masks on. It's
course,
been great.
Of course, the media will lie about that, but that's getting
Right.
political, and I've pledged not to get political.
Well, and there's a bunch of businesses that are still out there that remain, they have to abide by their corporate policies. So even though
Right.
the states are going, no, we're open, you go into some places, and the place we stayed last night, it was full lockdown, no, you don't, we're not going to clean your room. We're not going to give you a free cup of coffee in the morning. Wear a mask when you come inside. So it's very difficult then to go to places when we know that all of these mandates are lifted, yet the individual companies are going, nope, you have to be careful. So I get it.
Absolutely.
Nobody
Corporate
wants
liability.
to be liable. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, go ahead.
I said it's been getting better and better. Florida was definitely heavily affected. I can tell you that as a resident. So we're still heavily affected. It just we have so many options out there now, and our governor just he's leaving it up to each individual and each company, each business. You make your own choices at this point, which is that freedom we've all supported for so long.
That's
Yeah,
right.
American freedom. Imagine that.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Right?
I mean, you got
Everybody
two
be careful.
veterans here talking with you, so we're big believers in freedom.
Absolutely. Of course, you got to be careful. We might be canceled. Can't say the wrong thing. God bless America.
Right.
Oh, no, that's
You're
going to
out.
get picked up. Yeah, you're out. You're out.
It's okay to love America.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, come on. We got Ricky right there. I mean, he's you, my friend, are like one of the poster child for freedoms of America and what America's possibilities can be.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Possible.
I'm still looking forward to some of that honey. That's why I got to swing by and get some.
Oh, I told him about the honey. Sorry, I gave you up.
I gave you up.
Okay, now you got to package some up and send it to me. I just want a little bit. Just a little. A little bit. Just a little.
You guys stay.
That's awesome. Well, hey guys, thanks again for being a part of the show. There's a lot going on. We're going to be busy. Next week we'll catch up with all of our guys and let you know what's happening in the world of Jeeping. And as always, if you're watching the show, make sure to subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, smash that subscribe button. And if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast player, give us 5 stars. We'd appreciate it. If you like us, share it. Let other people know, because you
Definitely.
can't hoard this. We're Jeepers. We don't hoard. We share, right?
That's
we
right.
share.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Right.
We share honey that we try and we send across the country. We share. We're share alike.
Funny part.
That being absolutely. So that being said, hey, Jamie and Bryan, how can they get a hold of you? How can they find you guys?
For phone or email or
Whatever. How do you want people? How do you want our fans to reach out to you and find out? Say for Jamie to find out about the Florida Jeep Jam, and for Bryan about Aerolidz or whatever.
So if you want Florida Jeep Jam, my email is Jamie, JAMIE @FloridaJeepJam.com. If you want Aerolidz stuff from me, pretty easy. J Carr, 2 R's @Aerolidz.com.
And for me would be promo at Aerolidz.com.
Nice. Perfect. Well, that's it, guys. And we'll have some links in our show notes as well for Aerolidz and what you need to know and be able to get out there and partake and get those and play with that stuff and have fun and get rid of that stupid noise when you're driving your light bar down the road and the highway at 95
Gabe on.
at 95 miles an hour.
Right. Gabe will probably yell at me because
Yell at
Brian's
you?
on here first.
Well,
Bring Gabe on, talk to him about Aerolidz racing.
Yeah, there we go.
Ooh, there we
Make
go.
sure you do.
So, and Corey, Jesse, anything you want to add?
I think we're good. It's we'll see everybody at Panama. And if you see us, traveling down the road, shoot a picture. Let us know you saw
Tag
us.
us on the social.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, my friends, you can reach me at Matson at Metalcloak.com, Corey at Metalcloak.com, and Jessy at Metalcloak.com. And we're happy to help you any way we can. As we talked before, reach out to events and stuff you got going on. We love all of you. And until next time, we'll see you on the trails.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Ah.